Alright, Mr. Sweat is back, and I took that Allen head, I cut it off, I cut the head off, and I don't know if you can see it, but I took a Dremel and I slotted it, so now I can tighten it up with a screwdriver because it no longer has a head on it. And we're just going to go ahead and assemble this thing and see if it'll actually work somehow. Oh, look at that, it's going to go through. Alright, things are working in my favor today. Oh, shoot! It looks like it's going to work. Oh, come on. Keep going, buddy. Oh, it's binding up. It feels like it's a little bit crooked, like it's eating threads. Oh, there it goes. It just says, fresh threads. Fresh! And there it goes, it's flushed right up. So, as you can see, I screwed it in there. It's a shoulder, it's a hinge, and well, let's see if we can just put this sucker together. I think that'll go in there. This will kind of go through there. Obviously, this is going to need some... Oh, where am I at? I've always got camera placement problems. Yeah, we're going to have to do some trimming on that. However, we are going to see how this thing goes. I'm probably going to have to trim on that spacer in there because I really don't want this sitting that far away from the hinge either. I want everything to be snugged up a little, but I'm not going to cut it until we do final assembly. Ooh boy, it don't like going in there. Do I have an Allen wrench set out here? I think I do. And it's that one. Because that's tight. Threads be tight. Okay, there's the roller. Yeah, that's why we're going to have to do some alterations on the back side of that thing. Just chop that sucker right off of there. But anyway, it's going to sit... What the heck is it? Freaking cat food plate? What's it doing up here? Okay, anyway. So this will fit in here. Where's my... That'll fit in there. Oh, and that moves back and forth. That hinges up and down once we get that bolt cut off the back side of it. Okay. Well then, once we've got that one pretty much under control, we know what's going on there. This is the other one. This is the sander head. We move it, that goes out on this end that moves back and forth. After I saw that one guy do this on YouTube, I was like, oh, that's a dadgum good idea. So I'm going to do the same thing. Anyway, that I still have to drill holes in this because we have two more rollers. One that goes here, one that goes here, and I've got to get back up on the mill and figure out how to cut this radius in there. And that looks like I'm just going to punch a whole bunch of holes in it and use that as my pivot point, a 3/8 shoulder bolt, which... is that 3/8 shoulder bolt? That says 3/8, but that must be a 5/16. That's a dinky thing. Anyway, what we're going to do, 3/8 shoulder bolt, 3/8 holes all the way around, and then stick it in the mill and kind of clamp it down and roll it around. That's going to be a good one, because if it grabs a hold of that thing, it's going to spin it and maybe just cut a whole circle in there. So we'll be back after we work on this. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm cutting that radius. So basically I just drilled a hole into a chunk of aluminum, and where's the piece? Here's a little piece down here. So I had a little chunk of aluminum like this, kind of like that, drilled and tapped a 3/8 hole in it, and then screwed that into it. Basically, where's my piece? Well, I can't get it now because I dropped it down in the ways of the mill. So anyway, what I'm just doing is I'm drilling a bunch of pilot holes as I go around. Pretty simple. I'm just kind of eyeballing this. There's no precision going on here. I might get precise maybe later on, but about that far, that looks good. And do my next hole. And I'll do this all the way around to that other side. And then I'll come back with a 3/8 drill bit. There's another one. That looks good. That's another thing. I take the spray nozzles off of all the used stuff and stick it into my Tap Magic stuff, and it makes it last a lot longer. I can put one drop right where I need it instead of squirting half a bottle all over the dadgum thing. That's one of my peeves. I hate running out of that stuff. No, it's not I hate running out of it. I hate paying so much for it. It's like 25 bucks a bottle. I'd like it to last a little while. Anyway, that's what we got going there. I'll finish up with these. I'll come back. When I get halfway through on the 3/8 ones, I'll show you what I'm doing there, and then I'll show again when I'm hitting it with the end mill. Right on. So here I am about halfway through with the 3/8 bit. And what I've been doing is just getting over my pilot hole, lining it up, and tighten it down. And, the drill bit tends to follow that pilot hole. So even though they're pretty close together and I'm actually cutting right into the next pilot hole, even if there's maybe 75% of it left, it will still, see, oh, it doesn't lean very far, does it? That, I'll undo this, give me a little spin room, get that parallel, and lining up the flutes on my drill bit, the leading edges of the flutes, you can see right where the center of the pilot hole is. I'll line it. And you can also, if you get it wrong, you can see the drill bit actually bend and deflect. I hardly ever pardon me, bolt things down over there on the drill press. However, sometimes things have gone flying off the drill press because you can see when the drill bit finds its center, and if it's a good, as long as your drill bit's sharpened to where it's in the center, it'll find its center. And you don't have to be exact every time. That's right in the middle. So I'll cut a couple of holes while you're watching. And of course, when we get done with this, we'll come back with the end mill and get all these little ripples out of here. I've only got about five more holes left to go anyway. And as you can see, my paper pattern fell off. I was going pretty good. Got too much of the drill lube on there, and there went all my glue, and glue gone. Anyway, I'll be back when I get the end mill chucked up. Okay, I'm back. I've got the end mill chucked up in there, and I've got taken a couple of cuts at it. So just breaking it loose, moving it over to where I feel, oh, there's a binder. Tighten it back up, crank her down. Oh, there, close look, there you go. Just like that. Another one. Don't try this at home. This isn't standard practice, that's for sure. We should shut the machine off every time we do that, is what I'm saying. But one of the other things that's probably not standard is if I had a rotary table, I wouldn't be doing it like this either. And when I get pretty close to being done, probably going to crank down on this, put a bar in between these two, and then just rotate it around while that's turning, which is really against just about everybody's safety rules, even mine. I usually don't do stuff that unsafe, but if it's all bolted down, it shouldn't really. It may take off, but it won't take off for very far. I'm just getting the big high peaks out right now. That's a big high one. I was almost following the same hole. Okay, this was the last part that I was working on. Was I couldn't come up with a spring for in there, so I decided I had a whole bunch of these little baby air cylinders laying around. So I'm going to use air pressure. That's about 30 pounds, 30 psi, and that's really pretty tight. And I have a valve on here so that I can disconnect it, and it holds its pressure. Well, that's actually really pretty tight. I might have to back that off a little. But anyway, next thing I'm going to put the belt on it and hook up a light switch to the motor and turn this thing over and see what it's going to do. Be right back. Well, let's see, can you see it working? Oh, can't hardly see anything. Oh, it is, it's working. Boy, this is just a rock. That's kind of what I got it for, was doing rock. But man, it heats that rock up so fast, I'm going to have to put some kind of water drip system on that.
polishes the rock, but the rock gets so hot that it starts blowing up. Anyway, there it is, folks. One working sander. Oh yeah, look at this. Move the belt. See it moving back and forth. You know what? Get it from this angle. There it is. One working sander unit. Anyway, there we go.